here live. It's your host, Emanuel Williams, Chairman and CEO of Renaissance Global Media. So glad to have you folks viewing us here on The Balanced Perspective. We're here with renowned chef, DeShawn Barnett, who's cooked for governors, lieutenant governors, diplomats, statesmen, businessmen, and everybody in between. I'm so glad to know him and have him as a friend. Chef, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, let's jump right on in. I know a lot about you, but tell us how you got into cooking and how you developed the love for cooking.
Well, I basically knew I wanted to cook ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
So I never had any doubts about what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do with my future. But basically, I guess it started with me watching PBS when I was a kid.
Okay.
Most kids were watching cartoons.
Sesame Street.
And all of that. I was watching Yan Can Cook, Julia Child.
Oh, wow.
Watching all those PBS shows. I guess I was a fat kid at heart, so I was interested in the food on Saturday mornings and not the cartoons.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And so, what's your family dynamic like? Are there any chefs in your family?
Yeah. My grandmother, she cooked professionally. My mother cooked professionally. My father, I got two uncles on my mother's side who were chefs. And then on my father's side, they're Creole people. So,
oh, wow.
Food is in our blood.
Oh, that's good food there. So tell me what the holidays were like with all that good food. And
mostly at my grandmother's house,
okay.
Which actually was my great-grandmother. And she basically would cook everything from goose to duck to rabbit. We always had something wild with the turkey. So it was a turkey, a roast, and maybe a duck or a rabbit or a goose or something like that, or a capon.
Wow. So you're from Oakland, California originally?
Originally, yeah.
Still family there?
Yeah.
Wow. And so if you had to say, what are the differences and similarities in terms of cuisine between the South and a place like California?
Well, a lot of the black folks in Oakland are transplants from Louisiana.
True. Okay.
So there's a lot of Southern culture out there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Louisiana culture. So we have our own form of gumbo that we make out there. It's California style gumbo.
Wow.
Most people don't know about that. But it's different than the gumbo that you'll get down here.
Okay.
But it's basically a lot of the same.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So a lot of sweet potatoes and yams and all that around.
The holiday experience there is almost the same thing as it is here.
Oh, wow. So take us on kind of the journey of your career, how you got to being the executive chef and general manager here at the Capitol Club.
Well, it all started with a love of what I do.
Okay.
So I fell in love with it originally at a fast food place, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And it was at Marine World USA in Vallejo, California, where I started working. And it wasn't so much the cuisine as it was the pace that you had to work at and the adrenaline rush you got out of getting the rush out.
Yeah.
So it started with that. And then I guess my first real restaurant I worked in was a place called Pacific Fresh, which was in California. It was a seafood restaurant. We made everything from scratch. But that started when I was like 16.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So speaking of food, tell us a little bit about the dish that you've made for us today.
This is one of our signature dishes at the Capitol Club. It's a fried spare rib. Underneath the base is smothered potatoes, which we try to do Southern food with a twist and make it a little bit more eclectic.
Okay.
But it's spare ribs that we basically roasted slow, falling off the bone, deep fried, and then we put a balsamic glaze, a balsamic chipotle glaze on it, and a little harissa aioli with it.
You mind if I try that potato up under there? It looks
yeah,
really
try it
good. Let's see what we're looking at. See if I can get a little bit of it.
And just try the potato, you gotta try the rib too.
Okay, let's see here then. I don't want to look like a fat kid on TV.
But the sauces are good too.
Okay. Wow. That's a good potato. Hold up.
Yeah.
This might take up the whole interview.
Yeah. So the French term for that would be a lyonnaise potatoes, but the Southern term would be a smothered potato.
I don't know what it is, but
potatoes cooked in butter and onions with a little bit of spices.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically how I like to cook. I take African and Indian techniques and apply them to soul food cuisine.
So what other dishes here at the club that you've made kind of have that mix of ethnicities are part of them?
One of the things I'm most proud of is our beef cheeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, braised beef cheeks. We braise them with ginger and habaneros, lots of onion, garlic, different spices. And you cook now, it's one of the best roasts you ever eat.
So if you had to say your favorite thing about being the chef at this level, what would it be?
Being creative.
Wow.
Being able to be creative.
Wow.
And just expressing how you feel through food and being able to get that reaction out of the people that eat it.
Wow. You know, food in Mississippi and in the South is such an extreme expression of just how we feel, the love that we share.
Yeah.
You know, it brings people together, whether it's over good times or bad times, unfortunately. And it's a staple, especially here in the South. And so, tell me a little bit about how you came to be in the role that you're in now, as not only the executive chef, but the general manager of the club.
It was through attrition.
Okay.
So I started as basically the chef. I got hired to be the chef.
Okay.
But it was just a need for much more. So just filling the void and not wanting to see the place be successful.
Wow. Wow.
So just putting my best foot forward, trying to make things be where I felt like they needed to be.
Okay. And so what would you say is the difference between the chef side of things and the more general manager side of things?
Basically numbers.
Okay.
Numbers, systems. As a chef, you create systems in the kitchen that work for the kitchen. But as the role I'm in now, you have to create a system that works for the entire club. So everything from accounting to customer relations, all that, is basically system management.
Extreme hospitality, it seems like.
And hospitality is without question.
Oh, wow. And so, speaking of that, y'all are opening up the rooftop soon, Paul. From what I understand, y'all are opening up the rooftop pretty soon.
Oh yeah, pretty soon.
So tell us about that.
We got a rooftop bar and grill coming to the Capitol Club on the 20th floor. It's called 20. But basically, it's going to be an extension of the Capitol Club's venue. Okay. And so it's an outdoor space, which we're in now, which will have outdoor seating, DJ, fire pit, outdoor bar, and then we got an indoor space which also has private dining, a beautiful bar, grandbaby piano. We're gonna have bands, live music. I mean, it's beautiful. So, and then you see the best part is the view.
Absolutely,
all over the city.
The Capitol. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful background, and you can see from here. So now my favorite question is, it's a rooftop, right. So cigars allowed, I would assume.
For sure.
Absolutely. Great. Yeah. And so talk to us about the added benefits to the public and to members with the rooftop, the club itself. I know you all have some type of reciprocal deal with other clubs as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Basically, the access to the rooftop is going to come with a membership.
Okay.
So when you pay your membership, you'll have access to it along with your guests. Okay. So you can come with as many friends as you like, and basically it's a vibe. I mean, it's
absolutely.
It's really an exclusive thing as far as Jackson goes, because there's no rooftop that's higher than this one.
Okay.
And so it's beautiful.
So we're overlooking the Capitol, and a lot of what we do revolves around business and economic development. And you are an amazing chef who heads up a very, very intricate business here in the city and the state. Talk to us a little bit about your thoughts in terms of food and hospitality and how that affects the economy here in Mississippi.
Well, the food industry here honestly could be a lot better than what it is.
Okay.
I mean, we have the most talented culinarians, I think, that you'll be able to find anywhere. And we have some of the best food. But you see the population is dwindling, and Jackson itself is basically not quite what it used to be. But that's just opportunity for growth.
Wow.
So if somebody comes in and sees a vision, I don't see a reason why Jackson or the culinary scene can't be twice as good as what it is now.
Oh wow. So I think, if you had kind of a vision in terms of the culinary scene in Mississippi and what it could be, what would that look like?
I think it would start with development.
Okay.
Grassroots, starting with the kids. A lot of young people, basically training them up the way we were taught when we were coming up. Just pillars of what the business is, starting with the guests first. And really, hospitality is all about the guests. So a lot of times these days we make ourselves the focal point and forget that we're actually serving people.
Wow. You know, historically, people look down on folks in the service industry. But I think that as of late, people understand the really important, complex role of folks in the hospitality and service industry and sectors. And you know, it's really my relationship with you that has brought highlight to really, I'll say this on camera, how fly these people are and how important they are. You all hear and see quite a lot, and you're trained and educated to do what it is that you're doing.
Right. I mean, most businesses start with the service business.
Yeah.
Service is business. As a matter of fact, when Jesus came down to the earth, he came down as a servant.
Wow.
Way before he was a king.
Wow.
So serving others is really what we should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, it takes a certain bit of humility, but also foresight to see that service is business.
It is.
And so, you know, we at the grassroots of that in the hospitality industry, and I think it's one of the greatest industries.
Wow. I think a place that's as hospitable as Mississippi, we do get a good reputation for our hospitality. I think that this is probably, in my mind, one of the premier places in terms of food in the city and in the state that represents on an upscale way. What would you say your favorite food is?
Ooh, that's hard to say a favorite. I'm simple. So hamburgers, hot dogs, shamefully, I would say hamburgers.
Really?
Fast food.
Wow.
I love fast food. But I also think fast food could be elevated too. I mean, anytime you cook anything, it's really about what you put on the plate, which as far as the quality of the ingredients.
Yeah.
So a better quality ingredient elevates anything.
Wow. So in your career thus far, favorite person to work with in terms of chefs?
Nick Wallace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if it wasn't for Nick, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in.
Oh, wow.
So I would say him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, most influential too.
So favorite dish that you've made ever?
Probably the redfish that we serve here.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, the redfish.
Yeah.
Redfish, it has like a hot sauce that's from Guyana. It has a West African style rice that we serve with it. Also spinach, fresh redfish, and then the accompaniment is the tomato and cucumber relish that we put on top. That's actually from Ethiopia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And last question, what's your favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert, bread pudding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I love the way we do our bread pudding. I think we have one of the best.
So how do you all make yours?
Well, basically we start with New Orleans style French bread because it's light and airy. And the key to it is we mix our custard in there, but we don't let it sit. We bake it as soon as it gets mixed, so it comes out much lighter and fluffier than most bread puddings. Some bread puddings you get a real dense and rich. Ours is rich and light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Chef, for being on the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Listen, if you are an entrepreneur, a corporation, a nonprofit, or anybody doing business within the city of Jackson or in the state of Mississippi, the Capitol Club is the premier spot to come and do work, have meetings, have lunch, bring your weddings, your parties, all of that right here to the Capitol Club. Look at this view. That's undeniable, folks. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your week.